Thank you, Angel, and Heidi ho, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday's edition of Trading Buddies. I'm glad that you are our trading buddies. My trading buddy, or my initial trading buddy, has had an issue with his internet thus far this morning. He'll be hoping to join us very, very shortly, but if that's not the case, then we'll go through a few things that I wanted to pass on to you guys regarding the setup for the week, which was a question I was asked last week and didn't quite get around to explaining. If Ash comes in, of course, we may even have time for that as well. I don't know. We'll see. Of course, being Tuesday, it is Shukri Day, and Shukri will be with us at half past the hour, or a little bit past that. And of course, that always makes me shake my head. I wish I understood it. I've got to say, I wish I understood it, but I simply don't have time to try. Anyways, let's get on with today. And what have we got in store in terms of the pound US dollar? Yesterday looked like going, hi, Paul P. Happy Tuesday to you as well. It's Kiwi Yen. I'm on Kiwi Yen because Jaira was talking about Kiwi Yen yesterday going long as a hedge to the, well, not just as a hedge, but he was seeing the way to the top of what he perceived to be a range. I didn't quite like the range, to be honest, but we'll come back to this. That was Jaira's interpretation. Interesting. He's seeing it coming up to there. I'm not of that opinion, but today may well be the day, because if that high goes, then I think he's 100% on the money. Righto, pound US dollar. Yesterday we traded this bar, and it looked like going to the moon rapidly. It would really look keen, but TP1 hit, and that's as good as it got. Gee whiz, I'm actually finding it very, very difficult to get any follow through in the market at the moment. And that was evident with the three trades that we took last week: Aussie Swiss, Aussie Yen, Pound Swiss. The Aussie pairs, if you were lucky like me, you escaped with break-even trades on the Aussie Yen. Sorry, you should have got a break-even trade on the Aussie Yen. I did not, because my TP1 wasn't taken by the EA, despite the fact that it was 3 pips below where the take profit was. That happens, I guess. There's not a whole lot of point ringing up the broker and arguing. I've done that 100 times when that happens, and you don't get anywhere, because they have a little clause in their agreement with you, believe it or not, that says they can do whatever they want to the spreads whenever they want. And good luck trying to argue that one. It doesn't say exactly that, but yeah, it's kind of the same thing. They have got license, and they are the enemy after all. What else there was? Pound Swissy. I've put another order in on Pound Swissy, but Pound Swissy is still going, free trading that one from last week. And I've got an add to that one today. I'll call that a range. Don't like trading into the weekly pivot, but it has been bounced and broken and rebroken and retested and all the rest of it. So I don't have the normal concerns about the weekly pivot that I would had this price action not occurred. So let's go with, we're putting a short in the market in the first instance, and the entry will be at, why can't I see anything? That's a good question. Status bar. There we go. The entry for the short will be at 1.3877, and the stop loss will be at 1.3897, 7797. I should be able to remember that. Okay, again, if you are not familiar with this, it is a test only. It's not to be taken as a strategy that is tradable. Sell stop 1.3877 and 1.3897. Okay, there goes the change of candles. Now that again is the range of the day. Or sorry, it's not the range of the day. It's the range of the 3 bars that we like to trade. And if you're a fan of trading the optimized version, then the range would be down here, the last 5 candles prior to London Open. So your entry would be 3 pips below that level there. And your entry for the long would be 5 pips above this level here, which looks like a pretty reasonable thing to do today. Okay, I haven't placed the buy order. It will be the exact reverse of the sell because of the way that I do things. And that will change, mind you, because we're doing our own manual optimizing of this 1.3897 and 1.3877. Of course, tomorrow night we will have FOMC breakout. What have I done? What have I done? Invalid stop. Buy limit, that's why. Buy stop. There we go. Alrighty. TPs on this one today. That will be easy. 10 pips will be our first take profit because it's half of the risk. That will put us in at 1.3907. So there's our TP1 on the buy, and 3867 will be our first take profit on the sell, which is pretty much there. Got a fly annoying me. TP2, should I even bother the way the market is? Of course you should bother. 40 pips. 40 pips above would be 37, 39, 37. About, doesn't look right. What's that? We'll use that one. 39, what did I say? 37. That looks better. And for the short, 39.37. Oh, sorry, 38.37. Which is there. Okay, parameters set for the pound breakout trade. Again, if you are joining us for the first time, this is not a proven system. So do not trade this with meaningful money on the table. Micro lots at best, if not just watch. Okay, as I was intimating just a few moments ago, in fact, I probably was more than intimating, I probably said that tomorrow night we will be setting up the FOMC breakout trade. So just let's have a quick squiz at what has happened thus far today in calendar world. Jack, because their meetings, conferences, didn't even, did the MPS come out on Japan? I haven't heard anything on that one either. I assume it has. We will, if Ash comes in, ask him on what that was all about, because obviously I'm not across it. We've got later in the day another speech from another governor, this time the Bank of Canada's governor. And we've got OPEC meetings all day according to this, but it's tentative. And into tomorrow, we've got Aussie numbers. So there's really not a lot around today, apart perhaps from that BOJ report, which I probably should have read, but have not because I've only just sat down in front of the charts. Okay, let's go on to the trades, shall we? Or the orders that I've got in the market at the moment that I did place today. Just bear with me 2 seconds, 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, as we say here in Australia. Okay, I think we're good. First of the trades, or first of the orders. Well, we've been triggered already long. Okay, and smash straight into the weekly pivot. Let's get rid of the sell. Delete the sell. There we go. So what we're looking for is obviously TP1 here now on this. I won't hang around here too long because this is exactly the same price action as yesterday, isn't it? Where we saw a lot of think I can at a level, which was the level yesterday. What bar did we trade? That one. So I think there was a DR1 up here or something of that nature. And it just went, finally it went through it, but it couldn't go any further. As I said, I'm not going to dwell here. I'll just keep coming back to it. Somebody might whistle to me if it goes quickly to TP1. This morning, I placed orders on Aussie CAD. I want to go through the reasons for that. If you want to follow this trade, there are the numbers. Sell order there, stop loss there, and take profit one there. Why? Well, that's the weekly chart I'm looking at. And first few things that I notice are bearish by nature. Number one, bearish engulfing bar sitting there. You could call that a double top even if you want. The most significant thing here to me is that this level here was broken and retested and is still holding price at the moment, which is pretty clear. But that's also got a mate, and that mate, that green thing there, is the monthly pivot. You can see quite clearly how that level has been holding price at the moment. Then we got this on the weekly chart, which is not classic. It's not absolutely as I would like. It's not as perfect a candle pattern as I would like to see, but it's good in two ways. It is I'll call it a key reversal bar. Key reversal bar, by my definition, for those who don't know, is a candle whose high is higher than the previous day, or if we get in the opposite direction, whose low is lower than the previous day. And in the case of going short, it closes on or near its low. As I said, this is not perfect. That is perfect. That's got a high higher than the previous day, and it's closed on or near its low. So that's a perfect key reversal bar. You've got to take into account that there's context involved in all of these things as well. Now, the context that we have here is a retracement back to a previous resistance level and a rejection of not only that level, but the previous support level as well, which is, of course, resistance now. The best part about this for mine, however, is that it closed above the monthly pivot. Now, I know a lot of conventional wisdom would dictate that, well, hang on, that's crazy. You actually want it to close below the monthly pivot and you want it to be bearish. Well, it's a bearish candlestick, so put a cross on that one. But the reason I like it to close above the monthly pivot is for the exact reason that I've just said, conventional wisdom. Conventional wisdom often turns into orders, and those orders in this case could well be long by people who see that bar and then who see this as an inside bar and a continuation coming, and that's perfectly acceptable. Get that, and I'm happy to notice that. But my contention would be, if that does not occur, then something else is going to happen, and that something else, to my mind, could well be the set sail, if you like. So bearish engulfing bar, lower high, lower low coming, etc., etc. So change of direction, if you like, which of course is what key reversals are all about. Sorry, I had an itchy ear. Okay, so that's Aussie CAD. There'll be fundamental people suggesting that that's probably not a fantastic idea either, given that the Aussie seems to be on fire again at the moment. Interesting that I haven't got that I don't share that. I don't share that sentiment anyway. Euro Kiwi was another I had a look at, but I'm not keen to trade this yet. I would, however, be keen to trade this, and I'm looking at long. Reason? Well, the reason comes from the bigger picture, really. The bigger picture being this range, as I call it, and the fact that we've come off the bottom And we've now gone into this range here, big double top sitting there, which of course is undeniable as a rejection of that level. So you wouldn't want to be going along around about the $2 mark, or I certainly wouldn't want to be. But there's also every reason to think that we can go back there at some stage. So I see this bar here, big key reversal bar right there on that level. This horizontal level here is interesting, and you see that's what's holding price at the moment. But what I also notice as we come down the time frames is that we have had phase one and gone straight into consolidation. I'm waiting on phase two of this reversal, should it be indeed that. Similar to what I've just described on Aussie CAD, we had a break of the range, put in a new high, then came back and retested that range, the top of that range. That's pretty much precisely what you're looking for just about every day of the week. And to my mind, again, this is going to have another crack at these highs. So I'm looking for the bounce off this level for a, third, fourth time. And let's see if we can find a way into that. At the moment, answer's no. As always, the best thing for me to do when I'm looking to play along is to trade that as, or offer a support level. At the moment, that support level is well and truly entrenched, or it's there, it's sitting there waiting for me to, oh, goodness me, I nearly left the meeting, sorry guys, waiting for me to pounce. I can't see any chats for some reason. That's frustrating. I don't know what's going on. My control panel has just gone nuts. Ah, there we go. Much better. They hide. G'day, John. Pound Kiwi short almost hit my 200. Took that on board with a pound Kiwi short. It almost hit my TP1. Didn't, so I got out straight away. Perfect. Perfect, mate. I like it. That's the way to go, because missing TP1 by a small margin is just a brain fade killer. It's a killer to your emotional state, really is, because it'll go back and hit your stop and then go exactly the way you want it to go in the first place. So to take profit just before that TP1, if it hasn't hit it, absolutely agree with that 100%. So looking for a false break of this trade line in the first instance. That's on the daily chart, so we're probably 3 or 4 days away from that. Should that happen on the 4-hourly chart, perfectly acceptable. The issue that we have here, of course, is the pivots. And like every consolidation area, which is what this is, it's all bunched up. It, by nature, of course, brings the pivots together. And when that happens, it's very, very difficult to trade through them. However, if you can find a way, and I said this morning in my preview, if that trade line became a trade line, which it is now because it's another low, we could look for a false break. So a bounce off here again, up to here, retest it. And if we could enter here, maybe just where price is at the moment, with a relatively small risk factor, let's say 40 odd pips, we've then got 22 to the daily pivot. Perfect. Perfect. We could take profit there and get safe in the market before we have to hit all of this resistance area. So that is high on my agenda, Euro Kiwi, but it is not there as a trade at the moment. I said I had another order this morning on pound Swissy. We're already in pound Swissy, as you can see, and free trading pound Swissy. We were presented with this bar this morning, which again, to my mind, is a key reversal bar. It's not perfect because it's probably not on the low, but it's nearer the low than the high. Would you agree? Yes, you would agree. So I see an order there. And again, the one criteria that would stop me trading this would be trading into the lows here without first take profit. So that's exactly what I am doing. I'm taking first profit bang on those lows, which is Actually, I'm a bit above those lows, 26.25. No, I'm bang on those lows. That's where my first take profit is. So I'm trading this bar, but I find that it's probably a far wiser proposition to get your stop loss. Sorry, that's the stop loss on the first entry. Why can't I see it on this chart? Don't know. Good question. Where's my stop loss? Should be above the bar. 127.39. Yeah, it is. So I'm just trading the bar. Entry here, stop loss here. If we get into this and get a second free trade and this takes off, we'll be in a very, very good position to scale into this more. And I think that's eminently achievable if we can break through this area here, because there's a big hole underneath us. And I do see a retest of that range break coming at some stage. If we've managed to catch that stage, then we should be in for a good trade there. Hopefully that is the case. Now, I did want to point out dollar Swissy. I was going to place an order on dollar Swissy as well, but I determined that although the candle's perfect in terms of the shape of it, it really is a little bit out of context for me. And I think it's a bit of a bear trap because it looks so good. It looks like a rejection bar of the weekly pivot, which it is, absolutely is. But the problem is its proximity to the lows. It is the new low, right? So trading there, whilst not impossible, it really isn't appealing to me with that move. That move there screams to me of pause time. I may be completely wrong here, and that may be a perfect entry, and first take profit down here would get you, beyond 1-to-1. It could be a super trade. Something's telling me not. It's just screaming at me bear trap. So I'll be waiting for maybe a retest of this area or this area, either one, before looking to jump into the shorts here. I think maybe even the higher one, around about the 92.50 mark, might be the go. But 92 will certainly test this as well, one would think. That's about where I'm up to for the week thus far. I will have a look at euro dollar. How'd the pound go? Oh, geez. That's what I was saying before. Extremely untrustworthy at the moment. Trading this pound, it's hard to get any follow through. And look at the weekly pivot. Did I say I wasn't as afraid of the weekly pivot as I would be if that hadn't happened? Yes, I did. And look what it does. Incredible. All right, so that is the breakout trade, which is not working at this point, and we'll come back to that and see how that resulted. But it's not looking too flash for that. In fact, we may even see it get taken out now. Where was I going? Dollar Swissy. We went through dollar Swissy. Yes, you know all about that. Euro pound is the other one. Now, I did say yesterday that if we got a bearish decisive bar, not sure if I said if it closed on the weekly pivot or otherwise. I had a good look at this, and I think because this high has had two bites, that high and that and there, you've got to get through that one if you enter above the bar. Then you've got to get through that one, which is, a bee's dick away. And then this one here, a similar margin. You've got to get through all that resistance just to hit your TP1. I don't like it for that reason. Otherwise, it's a pretty classic break retest. And of course, we are following off this big bullish engulfing bar, higher high, higher low. So there's reason to believe that can go long, but I'm just so hesitant to trade at that level. I've probably got to see that level go, or of course the best case is to come back here, find a false break of support, and we can go from there. That would make sense to me. But at the moment, yes, the setup's there, but gee whiz, and it's exactly the same as dollar Swissy. I can see it as clear as crystal, but I also see the potential for that to be a trap, and the potential for that to be a trap as well. So let's not go there. Righto, let's talk about Kiwi yen. Kiwi yen. Jai, are you in the room yet? I cannot see the participants. Now I can. No, he's not. Well, there's someone down there that I just can't see. Dash. I don't know who it is. Not because I don't recognize the person. I can't see the name. It's hidden from me. Okay, thanks, Angel. Cheers. So Jaira yesterday, and this is what Trading Buddies is all about, right? He was asking me if I actually saw that channel. And I said I didn't like it so much. And here's the reason why. Maybe I can go down to a smaller time frame and it becomes more acceptable. Yeah, it kind of does, and it kind of doesn't. My criteria for any range, and this is the key to ranges for me. It's a personal thing. It may not suit everybody, of course. The first thing I need to see is 2 equal highs and 2 equal lows. Now, what does equal mean is the hardest question to answer. Let me go to, where's a rangy pair? Euro pounds a rangy pair. Let me go even a little bit wider. And I went through this one yesterday, didn't I? It's not necessarily the high of a candle. It's not necessarily the open or close of a candle. It can be either. It could be both. It's really a visual thing. So if I have a criteria for a range that says the first 2 highs that are equal and the first 2 lows that are equal start to form a rectangle, there's the first 2 highs here and here. There's the first 2 lows here and here. And it all depends on your definition for high and low then. So I'll leave that up to you guys, how you define that. And that's why this is not an exact science. But that is my criteria for the start of a range. And as soon as that happens, I start to look for bounces off the top. And when it goes to the bottom, bounces off the bottom. When it goes to the top, et cetera, et cetera. So the longer that goes on, the more chance I've got of making money. But it may not or is not necessarily a rectangle. It can be a triangle, as I say all the time. And we joke about it being a circle because that would be very, very difficult. But it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a rectangle. Why would I say that? Well, it's a simple matter of vision, if you like. And I don't mean looking into the future. I mean looking at the chart and seeing something that keeps repeating itself. So that keeps repeating itself. We keep coming off the high and going to the low, or near to the low, and off the high to the low, off the low to the high, off the high to the low. This is not unusual. This is very, very, very normal. And it's actually more prolific than you might think. And one of my favorite sayings is that every trend is simply a roadmap to the next range. And I believe that's the case. So I think, and certainly for me, because I've never been a trend trader, I can make a far more easy judgment, if you like, of where price is going next when I see ranges rather than when I see trend. Because when I look at a trend, I don't know if it's going to retrace or how far it's going to retrace, et cetera, et cetera. But as soon as I look at one of these charts, I know exactly in my mind where this is going. And it's going from here to here. And then it's going from here to here. And then it's going from here to here. To me, that's just a plain, simple visual action. And, you know, the more I trade these things and the more I look at them, the easier they become. So going back to the point, which was which was Kiwi yen, two equal highs, and here's where it becomes a little bit more, I guess, obtuse or cryptic or not straightforward. First two equal highs are probably here and here. And when I say equal, here's where the imagination has to kick in. You have to be thinking, okay, what have I got? I've got a trend line. So you'd start with a trend line, right? If you've got a trend line that goes from here, what do you normally do? You join the next low, right? So that to me is the first two lows. Go back to the rectangle, the first two lows and the first two highs. It then becomes the question to me, have I got this side of the equation that matches that side of the equation? Now, the easiest way to do that for me is to copy that trend line with your parallelogram and then take that up until you see two highs. Where's two highs? There's only one there. There's one there. That'll do me. That's the second high. And you've even got a third high on the 4-hour chart. But then it's gone missing for a while. And that's what concerned me yesterday, thinking, is it really what I need to be seeing? Because it's not really doing what I asked it to do. Remember, what I ask it to do is go from the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom. No, from the bottom, but is this the top? And do we have to trade that before we get into that? No, we don't, because we have to have two, remember. So that doesn't even exist. The channel doesn't even exist until we've got two up here and two down here. So this channel wouldn't have even existed until this point, in my mind. You could, of course, have brought it up to there, but you don't really have two equal highs on the top side. So that's why I didn't really like that as a channel. But as I always say, if you notice something that continues to do something, like bounce halfway off a halfway stop, I don't know, you may notice something that I completely miss, which is 100% acceptable. I don't see everything. In fact, I don't even go close to seeing everything because I'm not in front of the charts at the moment very often. So this is, again, what Trading Buddies is all about. And I really, really encourage you guys, whilst you're in this room or any other forum that you happen to be in, if you're able to ask questions or share your point of view, do so. Because if Gyra gets his price up here, then he's 100% on the money, and I'm not, and that's perfectly fine. If we all traded exactly the same thing, there'd be nobody to trade against, would there? And how could we possibly make money? You'd trade cryptos. Oh no, he's not in the room yet, is he? No, I don't think so. Sorry, no, I won't go there. I was going to say I've got a little bit of an issue with some form of crypto trading, but yeah, that's for another time. Okay, I'm just having a quick look around the place. Righto, guys, what's on in your place? What's going on? Is there anything that is interesting to you? Did I mention Euro Kiwi? Yes, I did mention Euro Kiwi. Super keen to get long that. Let me go back and show you why. I showed you that. I don't need to show you that again. Here's what I was going to do, right? Pound going to the DS1 and taking us out. Yes. Credible, isn't it? The amount of times that happens where it just takes you into the trade and then slams the other way. This is the whole reason that I stopped trading the first candle, the first 30-minute candle of London session, for that very reason, because it happens so frequently. And that's what we've got to try and avoid with this breakout trade, exactly that. So, yeah, volatility. It's a wonderful thing, but you can catch you. And yeah, that's pretty much where it might be. Well, it may not get there even. As I said before, it's very difficult to get follow through here, and you've now got to get through this area. If it does, it's got to go to here, not just DS1, I think. And it may well do that. Have I got to bias this thing today? Yeah, my bias would be short to lower high right there, potential lower high. But trading it, no, because you've got to put your stop here. You'd get TP1 with the third, be okay. That would be my bias, but I'm happy to steer clear of that at the moment. Here's what I was going to do, right? I was going to, because I got asked this question last week and didn't really get enough time to go through it. Now, slingshot trading is what I do and have done for the past 10 years. However, during that past 10 years, I have also taken on board a whole lot of information that has been made available to me primarily through this forum, not Trading Buddies, but the Actions to Wealth family. And I have adopted a few more processes and trading methodology because of that. And one of those, and this really didn't come from anybody at Actions to Wealth, it's just my own observations. And it's all about now setting up my week. And because I'm not in front of the charts too much and don't trade the slingshot on smaller time frames too much anymore, until I get more time up my sleeve, I've really spent more time on daily charts and even weekly charts and monthly charts. I'm trying to change price action here. It doesn't work. Why? Something's going on. Anyway, let's stop that. So here's what I do. Those of you who, something is blocking me. What is it? There it is. Sorry, I've got so much information on my screen. I couldn't even see that. Okay, those of you who have this little tool called the market scanner, but you can have any market scanner. It doesn't have to be this one, obviously. You have the ability to do this very, very quickly. And what I do at the beginning of each Sunday, this is my routine, right? And here's where I come up with my weekly analysis, which is really easy to do, very quick, very simple. It's either there or it's not there. The first thing I look for on the weekly chart is a thing called an inside bar. But I actually do this in reverse, and I shouldn't. I'm looking for inside bars first on the weekly chart, and I should actually be looking for key reversal bars first. Now, an inside bar has to be exactly that by my definition. It has to be a bar which is completely contained inside the previous bar. So in other words, its high and its low have to be higher and or lower, whichever way you're going. But it has to be completely inside the previous bar. So if I see that, I then go back to the previous bar and look at that previous bar and ask myself, what's that doing? Now, those of you who have been following the key reversal bars, actually, I should go back and have a look how last week finished up. There was an amazing amount, 15 of them. And I didn't tally them up. So key reversal bars. I'll go to that first so I don't confuse you. And here's what tells me what a potential key reversal bar is. It's called market direction on this scanner. But what it actually looks for, or what it should be, wow, look at that range. Perfect on Aussie yen. It's looking for a candle, as I said before, whose high, in this case, if you're looking to go short, the high has to be higher than the previous bar. It has to close on or near its low. If it's going the other direction, its low has to be lower than the previous bar and it has to close on or near its high. Just the same candle, not last candle. The low has to be lower and has to close on or near its high. That's it, or the reverse going the other way. So that there is a perfect reversal bar, key reversal bar. Its high is higher than the previous day, and its close is on or near its low. Absolutely spot on. Doesn't get any better than that. I haven't got to the point where I trade those at that level. And the reason I don't trade those at that level is simple. Who knows that this is going to reverse at this point? That's a key reversal bar right there. Wouldn't have triggered into the market, but that's a corker. But it always has to have context. And the context here is, okay, it's a retracement bar. It's a big key reversal bar, and it's probably giving us a warning of what's to come, but it's completely untradeable there for mine, because that's guesswork. You're trying to pick the top of the market. And from experience, and expensive experience, I can tell you that that doesn't come off terribly often. It's not a good strategy, trying to pick the top of the market. If you can do it, genius, absolute genius, and you'll make a lot of money. But when I'm looking for that to be relevant, it probably has to be as the result of retracement or something that makes perfect sense, rather than, okay, I'm trying to pick the top of the market. So that's what I'm looking for. So that here, there's no key reversal bar for me on the weekly. That is a candle that I wouldn't trade. And we're looking at last week's, not this week's, right? Euro pound, on the other hand, is a classic key reversal bar, where you've got this candle here. Its low is lower than the previous bar, and it's closed on or near its high. That's about as good a definition as you'll get, or as good an illustration as you'll get of a key reversal bar. Now, this is interesting because you've got a big bullish engulfing bar that precedes it. You've got that little pullback bar there, which then gives me the retracement that I was just talking about. And that would be perfectly acceptable and understandable to enter that long on the weekly chart, because it's the second go, right? You had the breakout, you've had the lower high, the higher low, and away you go on the weekly chart. So that would be perfectly tradable. A little bit dangerous because you're trading into the high of that bar, but that's what I'm looking for this week, right? That's why it's high on my watch list, Euro pound. Have I traded that? No, I haven't. But the more I look at that, the more I think I should. Why aren't I trading that? I've got this little thing, right, that says, as soon as I see a bullish bar, so a white-bodied candle, if you like, as soon as I see that, I think the only way I can trade that is in the opposite direction. Now, this is a real problem for me. And I'm sure you guys have seen me go through this agony, complete agony, because, as I just said to you earlier, I've adopted these new processes to get to the point of trading weekly candles, daily candles, monthly candles, rather than simple slingshot setups. I have to then go against my grain and look at that bar, and I have to say, well, that's got to be tradable. You know, if you're going to trade key reversals, then by definition, that's exactly what that is. Yet I haven't traded it. I've seen it, but I haven't traded it. Rather, I've taken the conservative approach, and I'm looking for something to come back down here. And I just may miss this completely, and I'll go, you should have traded that. Maybe I just need to go and do the sensible thing and place a small order here, let it do what it wants to do. If it loses, if it takes me and loses, then I can look for the trade I was looking for in the first place. This is a la Ash. This is the way Ash trades, right? He's happy to go here and hope it comes down here, follow that, and get a better price. So it's kind of a FOMO thing that I don't have. I don't have FOMO. Thank God I don't have FOMO. I've got FOLO, hate losing, but I haven't got FOMO. So that's pretty much what you're looking for. But there's a further criteria that makes these far better and that is the primary trend. If the primary trend agrees with you or agrees with the direction you're about to trade, then that gives you a very, very firm another layer to add to this particular position. Cryptos are roaring back. The man's in the room. We'll be going to him very shortly as well. So I just wanted to explain that to you a little bit further. If you have a primary trend that agrees with the direction that you're wishing to trade, or just to complicate things a little bit further for you, it doesn't really have to be discernible as the primary trend. Like here, where's the primary trend here? I could argue long, I could argue short. So to me, there is no primary trend here. What I then would look for is what is the most potent chart pattern on this chart? What is the most dominant, if you like, chart pattern here? Is it, no, there's no bearish engulfing there. Is it, have I got a double top? No, I haven't. Have I got a head and shoulders? No, I haven't. Have I got a double bottom? Yes, I do. I've got a hell of a rally off that bottom. And then I've got a higher low compared to here, right? Yes, I've got a series of lower lows and lower highs, no question. But off the dominant chart pattern, which to me is the double bottom, I can make an argument that we are headed north from here. And of course, that was a massive retracement on that. So I'm okay to go long here. And if you have a look at this in another fashion, we're at the bottom of a range. Again, are we not? What's the criteria for a range? Two equal highs, first two equal highs, first two equal lows. There they are. So there's your range right there. Now you've got a problem because you could make an argument that we've come off the top of the range and we're headed to the bottom. So there is uncertainty there. I would contest that is perfectly true and acceptable, but we are at a strong support level here as well, and we have bounced off that. So I've got to work out a way to get into this market long that doesn't give me a massive exposure to the fake short or the fake long to get short. So that's the challenge that I have. And that, quite frankly, is why I'm not yet long euro pound, but I want to go there. And that's why, going back to what I was talking about before, on this chart, I was looking for a pullback to here so that we can come off a support level rather than a resistance level, because this it's got, to my mind, bull trap written all over it as well, because it may not yet be ready to go long. There you go. That's kind of a little insight into how I now set my week up. That was only one example, but that's precisely what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those key reversal bars. If they're followed by an inside bar, all the better, because that's your confirmation bar, that's your insurance bar. And add to that either the primary trend heading in your direction or the most dominant chart pattern. And the most dominant chart pattern can only come from your bigger time frames. So bullish engulfing bar, head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders, double bottom, double top, shooting stars, rising stars, all of those recognized potential reversal signals. That's what will give you a decided edge when you're trying to get direction from a weekly chart going into the week. And that's precisely where I'm at in that regard at the moment. Rightio, let's talk cryptos, into the mire and muck of a crypto world. G'day, mates. How you doing? I see he's in the room. Maybe he hasn't got his microphone open. Shukri, are you there?
Yep.
There he is. How you going, bud?
Hello?
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 Yeah, I'm here.
There you are.
Fine.
What have you got?
There you are.
You got a microphone problem, what?
Yes, I have a microphone. Well, now can you hear me now?
I wouldn't have thought you needed a microphone. We should be able to hear you anyway.
Okay.
I can hear you, mate, and you're
Okay,
loud and clear
yeah.
now. What's going on?
Let's go to the
telling me there's
interesting charts.
something
Yes.
roaring back.
Yes, this is how it works. This is very interesting. You know, this is
Mhm.
this is a very new phenomena. Okay, this is what you need, you guys. But let's first look at the chart.
What's the new phenomena?
The small coins are in play now. People are interested in the meme coins, which don't mean anything.
Right.
But look at this, guys. I mean, this is amazing. I was thinking, I was saying on Sunday it's going to pull back up. I thought it would come on Thursday or Friday, but it took only 2 days to do this. And Ethereum, of course, as usual, is going to 3,000. But the thing is this, Bitcoin pulling back here. It's not really technical. Yeah, I know you can see the 100 here. It's more that a lot of people got short, and this is how it works. Okay, a lot of people are short, and Jeff knows this. This is the old rule. A lot of people get short, and then what the exchanges do to make money, they flip it to long, and then the shorts are caught. You're caught in a short squeeze. So now the shorts here have joined the longs, and then it just rockets up. Totally short squeeze. It's just a way of blowing you out. So this is what is very tricky when you're trading crypto. When you get, when you're long, you can be blown out on that side. This is an example of getting blown out when you're short.
Every single retracement I can see there has done the same thing.
Yes, it's done the same thing. That's why trading is very, very difficult. But let me show you this.
It just became a lot easier because I can see it.
You can see it now, right? Look at this.
They're all bear traps.
Yeah, you're right. Everything is a trap. Everything is a trap. And Dogecoin liquidations briefly surpassed Bitcoin. So these were people shorting Dogecoin. This is one of the meme coins. Elon Musk says this is about a dog. This utility it's a dog. Okay, it's a cute thing. But Doge has done a lot for crypto because it has brought the people who will not be in crypto into crypto because it's a fun thing. You just invest for fun. And people who go in here, don't worry about all these people selling their houses, okay? Because people that put in Doge, there's a lot of people that look like 10, 20 bucks. It's a fun thing, Yeah, and I put 10 or 20 bucks just for something to say at the bar, right? Yeah, I got blown out on Doge. It was only 10, 20 bucks, so that's okay. just how can, but look at this. Look at the number of people going in. How can this liquidation surpass that of Bitcoin? It's just amazing to see what's happening. That means the crowd is already in. See, 44 million worth of Doge positions were liquidated. In comparison, Bitcoin saw 117.4 worth of liquidations. Now, this will cause pain. This, Jeff, is just something to talk at the bar. You want to talk at the bar with your friends. You got to go into Doge, but you're not going to put in like $1,000 or 2,000. You put in like 10 bucks, 20 bucks, 30 bucks. Okay, let's see what happens to that. and this is something that's very, very new here. See, look at this. Every single friend of mine bought cryptocurrencies this or last week, mainly, Ripple and Doge, very close to the high. Everyone, but don't worry, they're not hurt, okay? Everyone I tried to convince to buy 1-2 years ago gave up, is in now. Not sure how much fresh money is left to enter, but see, the thing is, people are really having fun when it comes to Doge and all this. People just like having fun. The high was 50 cents, now it's 26 cents. But
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper. Yeah, look at that. And I don't know what's going to happen to Doge, but just look at this massive turnaround here. Yeah, bear trap all the way. So that is how cryptocurrencies work, and that's why cruel. It's very, very cruel. But look at this. A lot of people were asking if the small coins rally, the altcoin rally is over. It's not, because look, it's gone down some more. The Bitcoin dominance of the crypto market, I think when we started this long time ago last year, this was around 70, right? You guys remember? 69, 70, went to 64, went to 62, Took some time before it went below 50, below 60. Then it went below 55. Now it's 47. And this means that the smaller guys are going up. Okay, the smaller guys are really going up, which is good. And look at XRP, gone up 18%. You know, this is about to be sued by the Securities Commission. Doji, well, Doji, you know, it's an inflationary coin. They come up with new coins every day, and yet it goes up. So what does that tell you? That people do not know what they're doing. It's becoming like a casino, right? But it's kind of a fun casino, you know. And when you see things like Doji coin and XRP going up, you know one thing. This points to one thing. How can these go up easy? It's the power of the crowd. It's the power of Wall Street bets. And that's what I want to talk about tomorrow, because a lot of people from the older generation, if you're about 40, you probably don't understand what's going on.
40?
You can't figure this out.
They're young, man.
No, they can't figure this out, Jeff. They went to the proper school of investment. They went to the proper
Yeah.
school. This is like
Now I hear you.
yeah, this is like the 20s guys who have, you know, who can spend like 40, 50 bucks. That's okay. And they go together in a crowd and swarm the crowd. This is like GameStop. Yeah, the example is GameStop in the real world. And you have this and this going up in the crypto world. Because how can XRP go up when it's getting sued by the Securities Commission? It's like, guys,
Have they got a counter? They got a counterclaim.
I know.
But that would be the only reason.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, if we, you know, in the investing school that we went to, like, you never touch that, you know, you wouldn't even take a risk there. But hey, there it is going up, you know, because a group of people just decided, we're gonna just push this up. We are gonna push this up. In fact, Doji now, there's a Doji date. It's called May 4th. Doji to $1. There's a mission here. You see that? There's a mission.
So this is the same mob, or
yes,
it's a different
this
mob?
is the same mob. This is the same
Right.
mob. The same mob as GameStop and
Yep.
all the rest. That's it's Robinhood. Yeah. So they're on Reddit. So you can see here the power, really the power of the crowd just moving things. And they
So that'll probably happen, right?
yeah, they probably will. And you know what? I think the guys that got blown here, Jeff, the guys that got blown here are actually the clever guys like us, you know, because we're like, is it Doji wouldn't go up? Doesn't make sense. We're going to short. And then suddenly we got blown away. Like, oh my God, what's going on? What is going on? This is not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to go up. You're supposed to go down. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And that's why the lesson here today is this. Because this guy has been in crypto since 2017. Look at what he says, guys. I've been in crypto since December, and what have I learned? This is last year. HODL is the best way to make money. He's legit traded, leverage, chase pumps, etc. If I had just invested in the coins I chose back in December and not touched it, I would have been so much richer. That's true. Because if you look at any crypto guy, it is not going in and out. It's like going in and sticking it and just adjusting some of your positions if you can find a faster horse. That's really the name of the game. That's all it is. But you know, but when we go to bars, Jack, we need something to talk about. That's why we put 30, 40 bucks in Doji coin. It doesn't matter if you lose.
Yeah, I'd rather put it on the bar, frankly, but you know. To me, I get far more enjoyment out of that.
But then you're not cool, because you gotta get blown out.
Oh yes, you've got to be cool.
You
Yes.
gotta be cool. You gotta be cool. Okay? You gotta be cool.
Well, you know, I suppose that takes me back many years when you know, it was cool to light up a cigarette at school or something like that.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yes. It was cool that the cops used to kick you out of the pub when you're underage, and all those sorts of things.
Yes.
So is this is the new cool?
Yes, this is the new cool, getting blown away. Because, because their mantra is this. Their mantra is this. If you cannot hodl until you're liquidated, you got weak hands. You're not one of us. You're too weak. You are just too weak. No beers for you tonight.
That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. So,
hey, dudes, I just lost another 50. Yay!
Yeah.
Come on.
Just imagine this 50 bucks across many, many people. And that's what's happening now. And not only are they using Reddit, There was something last year. The first that pushed Dogecoin was TikTok. There was TikTok actually managed to double the price of Dogecoin. There's just a couple of people dancing, kids buying it. So because in the US, kids somehow can get access to Robinhood. I don't know what's going on there, but that's what's happening. The teenagers are in Robinhood. So
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. So this is the new thing, and we have to acknowledge it. And sometimes we have to adjust the way we invest. Now, I wouldn't hold on these coins, but yeah, it does make for a good trade, right? Especially if this is going on to $1, like if this is going on to $1, why not?
Because I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, you really don't care, right? I mean,
no, couldn't give a toss.
Yeah.
As long as they don't start messing with the euro, I'm okay.
Correct. Yeah, but
and I can't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
Well, not them anyway.
Not them, right?
There might be other forces that will do that, but not them. So that's your message for the day, is it?
That's my message for the day. So the most exciting thing about crypto is it's a new world. How do I best say it? The way to say it is this: the Facebook of crypto, the Netflix of the FANG of crypto, whatever it is, has probably not been invented yet. It's out there somewhere, right? Because during the first crash, only Amazon survived, right? And then they came up after that crash. Same thing here. This is coming up after the first crash in 2018. So those things are not born yet. And let me tell you guys that crypto is the only place in this whole world, and maybe even this universe, where the small guy can get in at the same level as the big guys, or before even the big guys go in. You can be the venture capitalist here. And that's why when you do that, and all you need to do is find a gem, like Peter Thiel found Facebook, and you're going to make a lot of money, man. Even with $50.
So to know how to do that, we have to join you tomorrow at
correct.
8
tomorrow,
o'clock.
8 o'clock tomorrow. Yep, 8 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, this is a
Mate,
new
can you do me a
world, man.
favor?
Yeah.
Can you go back to your, I think it was Bitcoin chart. It would have been Bitcoin chart.
Yeah, let's go here. Let's go bigger here. Yeah.
And I want to know from the people in the room, can you identify those bear traps that we've just been talking about?
Okay, there are, you kind of can come close, because here's the deal, but this didn't come close enough, because once it lost the 50 here.
No, I didn't mean you. I meant the people.
The people in the room. Okay, the people in the room. Okay,
because it's important that you actually know this, guys.
Correct.
This is a really, really good lesson.
Yes, correct.
You remember earlier I was talking about key reversal bars and trading them in the wrong position. This is a classic example of that, because you're trying to pick tops and bottoms, and that's where you get hammered, because they set you a trap.
Yep.
And you fall straight into it, and you get smashed. You just get hammered. And the first of those I want to point out to you is the one on the bottom range that you've got there. There's 1, 2, 3. Well, you'd call them. There's 4 key reversal bars. Coming from, where is it? Mid-February.
Yep. There's another one. There's there.
Yep. And any one of those bars going down, it would have been potential for entries long, because you're going with trend, right?
Yep.
But you haven't seen a liquidation grab yet, and that's where it is. They're just grabbing you right there.
Correct. They're just grabbing you. So if people want to trade this, not only do you have to know the bars here, you have to know on-chain data. Like stocks. Well, Ash is not here, but stocks, you know the revenue, the profit and all that. For cryptos, you have to know the on-chain data. Now, what on-chain data says is that once it's break the 50, it takes 12 days to come back to the 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, about there. That's something that always happens. It's just a pattern that keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. Now, the only thing is, when we see this, if you're not experienced, you kind of get freaked out. Oh no, that's the end of the world. Okay. So knowing all that, yeah, it's not easy, and that's why people at the end of the day, the rich guys just hodl, guys. The guys who make money just hodl because this is very tiring. When you see this, oh man, this is going down. This is a sure thing. No, in crypto, it's not a sure thing because I think. Yeah, Jeff, have you seen something like this? So we in crypto, we say something that Bitcoin likes to fake out. You
Oh,
cannot
absolutely.
have, you cannot have a rally without a fake out first. If it's too easy, it's not going to happen. It's just not it. It can't happen. No way.
Then I would like to, I might have to have a look at Bitcoin
Yeah.
as a trading thing because
Yes.
that's what
Yes.
I like to trade, you see.
Yes. Yes. Correct. There's many of
I
these.
love fake outs. Fake outs are my
Yes.
faves.
Yes. Correct. And there
All right.
will be this until the end of time.
Gee whiz, I won't make it to the end of time, but well, I
Well,
hope I
yeah.
don't make it to the end of time. But we'll see. The
Yeah.
jury's out on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
But
buddy, thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
Much
Cool.
appreciated. How are we going with Kusama?
Yeah, Kusama, we're still waiting for the crowd loan auction, not come out yet. But it's
What,
either
what do I have to do when that happens?
just keep it, just keep it, just keep it, just keep it.
Okay.
When you do that, we'll have to move it to the whatever wallet you have to stake it in, and then you will get the equivalent of Moon River, or you will get the equivalent of
At Boone.
Karura. Yeah. And
Moon
that will move.
wider than
Because we are, once we clear Gordon's
Andy Williams.
Andy, I don't know, but yeah, Moon River and Moonbeam are a song. It is a song.
Absolutely.
It is a song.
You bet it is.
Yeah, but and once we clear Gordon's D-Day, which has to do with taxes, then I think we'll get something clearer. Now I think people are still worried about taxes. Even people for me in Malaysia. Do you know that they confiscated people's cryptos in Korea?
They what?
They confiscated people's cryptos in Korea, the ones who were avoiding tax. They actually went to the exchanges and took their cryptos.
Wow.
That really upsets a lot of people, because for me it's simple. If I'm in the place, hey, take my cash. Don't touch my crypto. Because every single government that touches the crypto, and this really upsets a lot of people in cryptos, will come out, hey, you know what? That crypto which we confiscated last year, it's gone 2 times now. They never give us back, right? Hey, you guys actually paid extra tax when we took away your Ethereum. Nope, they're not going to do that. Nope, no. They don't remember that. They don't remember that.
Man.
I know.
Big brother. Don't like it.
Yeah. In Seoul, they just went to the exchange, and the tax, I'm sure the tax agencies have all this because our tax agency also raided our crypto exchanger in 2017. So they will go in there, just close the whole thing down. Everyone's freaking out, thinking it's hack, and said, no, it's not a hack. It's a tax operation.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did they then do a calculation on that and refund you something, or
no?
They just take the lot?
They just take the lot and they calculate based on the rate on that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they only tax you on it. They don't.
Yeah. No. They will basically, they already tax you, so they already give you a warning, but you don't pay. And this is what happened in Korea. Yeah, this is what happened in Korea. So there's a story that someone said, he was trying to negotiate with the tax. I'm going to pay later. I'm going to pay more. Another guy, when they got the warning, just paid immediately. Take it. Suddenly he had money.
Yes. Good idea. Pays to be smart.
Yeah, so Paul was right. Now the tax people are I think every government knows, Jeff, there's a lot of new crypto millionaires being minted, even in our group. I think there'll be 4 millionaires this session.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, 3 ringgit millionaires is 250,000 US. The other one will probably be a Sing dollar millionaire. So everyone knows this. We know you. Wait for our letter.
Well, look, at the end of the day, if you've made the money, you got to pay the money.
Yeah, you just pay the money. Yeah, that's it.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, and I saw something in CNBC yesterday even say, hey, because the guy said, hey, you made that much money. Do you really care how much the tax is? Come on. Let's be real. You already made the money. It's not like you don't have the money.
Yeah, look, I wish
Yeah,
they'd knock on my door and ask for $1 million in tax.
I know.
That'd be really good.
Yeah. And and they were discussing about the point where things don't get effective, or things start going down with productivity because you tax too much. But they say, for now on, if you have the money, pay the damn tax.
Yep, not
That's
hard, is
it.
it? Really not hard.
Yeah.
All right, we better wrap
All
it up there,
right.
buddy. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Thank you.
There was another question I was going to ask you, and I can't remember what
Yeah.
it was. I'll save it for next week,
Yeah.
or I'll if it's really important,
Sure.
I'll message you or something. Thanks, buddy. Everyone who wants to see you at 8 o'clock
8 o'clock
tomorrow
tomorrow. Yeah.
on YouTube, etc., etc.
Yes. Correct. See you guys.
All right, mate. Uru. It was about NFT, but that'll wait. That's all good.
Okay.
Cheers, mate.
Good.
Righto. Quickly, I will whip around the grounds. I have to get out of here pretty soon myself. And we really didn't talk about the euro. Now I'm trying to get back in tune with the euro and trading on the 30-minute charts. And I'll just give you a very, very quick outline of what I would be looking at today if I was to trade the euro versus the dollar, that is. Now, clearly from this is not a range, right? So I don't want to confuse you with that. What it actually is, I'll leave that bar there. Oh, sorry, that trade line there. What it actually is, I'm trying to forecast, if you like, where, if this is to be a head and shoulders, where the right shoulder is going to be. And that would be there as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't mean jack in terms of bouncing off, blah, 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 blah. Doesn't mean that. What it does mean is I'll start to pay attention there, however. There's no question about that. I'd be looking for a pullback on this today. 1, 2, 3 big, this week, sorry, 3 big weeks in a row. Look at the daily chart. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. This has got to be due for a pullback in my humble. So weekly pivot looks absolutely the potential. 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is giving me a possible head and shoulders maybe, but that will go way beyond the weekly pivot, and that's okay. You just got to take profit at the weekly pivot, right? So that's what's in my head. My head is we're retracing, or we're going to go into retracement. We're going to go to the weekly pivot, and I've got to find a way to trade that there, or wait till it gets there and trade it in the opposite direction. So that's what's in my head. So I just then look for a setup. Nothing there on the 4-hour chart that interests me. Go down to the hourly, and I think I know what I'm going to see. I'm going to see an untested daily pivot. Now, to me, that's not a test of the daily pivot, because the daily pivot's gone to price rather than price has gone to the daily pivot. So I'd be looking for a test of the daily pivot at some stage. But I've now got something that I can play with. I've got trade lines. That one there is suggesting A, B, C. That may well be the case at the moment. Weekly pivot, yep, could be. What's the problem with this? 2 problems that I see. You're trading at a strong level, so you're entering right on that level, and you've got an untested daily pivot above you. So that rings a bell, or rings alarm bell for me. The other thing that I see potentially is a false break of that trade line, which now, if this low gets taken out, if there's a close below that, then that's nullified. But if I go to the 30-minute chart, yeah, I can't really see it. That bar there is interesting to some degree. Enter there, stop loss there. But now, if that low is taken out, you've got a problem. 10 to 6, it's really not something that I'm that interested in. Going the other way, we're looking short, right? That's the whole idea. You could use that trade line there. So here's probably the best scenario that I can envisage at the moment. That would be, that's not a high that I've gone through there, by the way. That is. Best case scenario would be to play a false break of that trade line, this one. So break, maybe hit the daily pivot. There will be a better option, maybe. Maybe price gets up to the daily pivot. And we then look for a trade line through here. Above, below, retest, enter, target. Kind of a long way from now, isn't it? Don't think I'll be worried about that too much today. But if I saw that, if I happened to be in front of the charts and saw that, then that would be eminently tradable. The other option, of course, remembering that we still do have an untested daily pivot in my humble, is to look for a false break off this one. Remember, Shukri was just talking about fake outs, false breaks. They're exactly what I love to see. So price bounces off here after a little bit. I've got to see a couple open and closes below this trade line. That's the problem. Then back above it, retest it. Then you've got a target. Then you start looking for the short. If it goes long, then you're in the long. That's pretty much the way I'm looking at it. Okay, the orders that I've got in the market, I don't think anything's triggered at this point. That's the sell on the daily. It's getting close. What is it? 96.45. Not there yet, but looking very, very much like it wants to have a crack. That's Aussie CAD. What else have I got? So I've got pound Swissy, the second order on pound Swissy. That's right. Not doing anything at the moment, and yet to trigger. That is trading this bar here. So that would be our second entry on pound Swissy. We're already free trading on the first one. Right, guys, that is all that we have for you today. Hopefully Ash will be back tomorrow when his internet hopefully will be restored, and we'll get a little bit of action from him. Of course, we'll also be looking for oil and gold expert Ainsley to join us as well. That's tomorrow. For now, have a great rest of Tuesday, and we look forward to your company tomorrow. Have a good one.